Hi, Eliyahu. Hi, Vital Audience. How is everybody? So I've been thinking for a long time, since we have our expert and pro here on spirituality and Kabbalah, to have a session of questions and answers. I know I've gotten questions this whole year about different things on Kabbalah, on vital transformation. So we are going to take this time and I'm going to ask you questions. And I'm sure Eliyahu will have the answers for us.
Okay.
Are we ready to start?
Ready to start.
Okay. So the first question is, can you please explain what is Kabbalah in 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes? And is it connected to global transformation or personal transformation?
Okay, first, I don't want to go to maybe the word Kabbalah mean to receive, because I think everybody know that the word Kabbalah mean to receive. But I would like to relate to what was written in 1922. Rav Ashlag write.
Sorry that I'm interrupting you. Who is Rav Ashlag?
Rav Ashlag is a Kabbalist from our time. Is after Rabbi Isaac Luria wrote this book. Rabbi Isaac Luria lived 500 years ago, and he wrote a book that called A Tree of Life. And people tried to understand it, but it was very difficult to understand. Rav Ashlag basically came up with a way, or modern way, without losing the old way, to explain the words and the wisdom of Kabbalah with the vision of Rabbi Isaac Luria. Now, what he writes there about Kabbalah, that Kabbalah is dealing with spiritual method. That many people, when they start studying spirituality, they talk about the light. So for example, when people talk about the light, they think it's something you need to see. But the reason the Kabbalists or spiritual people use the word light is because the concept of light is see something, but it's not a physical thing, because the light spread, the light continue to give, continue to share. That's why the speed of light, as much as people think there is a certain speed of light, Kabbalists believe that the speed of light is basically the light never move. And the reason we measure the speed is because from where we are. So going back to your question.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm a little confused.
What is Kabbalah? Kabbalah is basically a knowledge that was given to Adam and Eve on the way out from the Garden of Eden. So they will be able to go back to where they come from. So it's a spiritual knowledge to help us go back. What's the method we use? Sometimes we use physical word from the physical universe. But everything about Kabbalah is spiritual. Then, of course, there's many levels, Sfirot, Etz HaChaim, Tree of Life, and how to live your life by that. You ask another question, if it's a transformational, if it's a personal transformation or global. The idea there is, the Kabbalah has a code for it. It's called smoke, which is the word smoke in Hebrew is Olam, Shana, Nefesh. So they explain that the change has to be in 3 levels. You have to do it on an individual level, you have to do it on a community level, and you have to do it on the world, on the universal level. And of course, every time that you change personally, you're affecting the community and you're affecting the world. So it's called Olam, Shana, Nefesh. So the transformational happen for both ways. If you work on yourself to change, to become better, to transform yourself. But again, there is 2 types of transformation. Are you transform yourself because you want to lose weight? That's good transformation. Or you transform yourself to become more spiritual. And once you become more spiritual, is that spirituality help you to communicate with people better? And then the next level, is that spirituality connect with people, help you connect with the divine. So Kabbalah is spiritual knowledge, how to basically interconnect all of those things that I was talking about.
Amazing. That definitely answers my question. So my next question
and
is...
their question.
And their question.
Yes.
There are so many religions, and there's so many spiritual paths. And the question is, I've heard people say that Kabbalah is the only way. How do we talk about all the religions and spiritual paths together, and why is it so important to study Kabbalah?
Oh, that's a political question. The idea is that Kabbalah is a knowledge that was given based on the history of Kabbalah, based on different book that was written 4,000 years ago. So I believe it's the truth, but I cannot force the truth on on people, I can share what I read and what's the truth for me and for whoever want to follow. So it's written that Kabbalah was exist before it was religion, before it was establishment of community or a tribe.
Including Judaism. It came before Judaism.
Including Judaism, yes, you're right. I should say that, including Judaism. So it was not, God is not defined by religion or by belonging to a certain community. You know, when we talk God or divine or spirituality, it's basically one. Everything starts with one. And then it starts to separate into many, many, many things. You know, so the beginning of everything was one. So your question was, why all religion need to study Kabbalah? Because you have to go back to the basic. You have to go back to the basic, whatever it is, you're Christian or Hindu or Muslim or Jewish. You know, you have to know why of the thing. Most of the time when we deal with religion, specifically religion, or even spirituality, we're either busy with ourself, me, or we're dealing with what is that I want from God. But my relationship to God is diminished by me being busy with what I want, what I need, what I don't have. So I'm destroying myself and I'm destroying my connection by thinking about what I don't have. Kabbalah is a unique way by study that you climb to what we call 10 chapter or 10 level, 10 dimension. That step by step you're climbing into the ladder of transformation, that you eventually connect to the divine, and in the same time you're changing yourself. So it's a very powerful method that I believe should be taught by all religion, and it can help all religion to even become better at what they do.
That was my next question. Do we have to change our religion because we're studying Kabbalah?
No. The opposite is the truth. You should keep your religion. You should keep, if you're Christian, stay to Christianity. If you're Muslim, stay Muslim. If you're Jewish, stay Jewish. And the idea, you're born with that identity. You're born with that DNA of your soul, that you have a mission to do with that. God knows what He's doing when you're born to that religion, when you're born to that system. Some people, or those of you who believe in reincarnation, understand that sometimes after, let's say somebody been in another lifetime a Jew, and he comes as a Christian this lifetime, could be he will have a desire to convert based on what happened before. That's a unique cases. But we're not here to convince people to change religion, but we are here to convince, to motivate people to study this knowledge of Kabbalah, because I believe it can add so much.
It'll enhance their religion. It'll enhance their beliefs.
Exactly, because what it's all about. In the end of the day, I was looking at this book that we just print.
Yes, that's my next question.
Yeah, love the neighbor as thyself. So I think in the end of the day, the cure of everything is love. And I think fear somehow kills love. And the reason is that religion, without speaking bad, but religion contribute a lot of fear for our universe, because after all, a rabbi, a teacher, a speaker, a priest need audience. So what do we do to keep the audience keep coming back? Fear work. So fear, it's sad, it kills love. And I believe that if we can truly increase the level of love, love yourself, love others, love God, and things can look better. Kabbalah is a unique way how to raise your level of consciousness into a place where you're capable of loving.
Amazing. Now, you had mentioned that there was a book that was written 4,000 years ago in Kabbalah that I believe is called the Zohar. So we've gotten many questions, not the Zohar, sorry, the Book of Formation.
Book of Formation is,
right.
It's the book. The Zohar was written 2,000 years ago.
So please just tell us a little bit about the Book of Formation.
Book of Formation is a book that was written by Abraham from the Bible. And within this book, they talk a lot about astrology, astronomy, creation of human body, creation of this physical universe as we know it. Everything is there. It's very powerful. And then he talked about the 10 dimension that I was mentioned before.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
And then the Zohar. So we have now the Tikkunei Zohar, and
Yeah.
people are asking me, first of all, what is the Zohar? What is
Yeah.
the Tikkunei Zohar?
Yeah.
And what happens if you don't know Hebrew or Aramaic?
The Zohar is a discussion, it's a group discussion of 10 people, 10 holy people, righteous, that going to the portion of the Torah. You know, the Torah is divided to different sections. It's like the Bible, the five books of Moses, and there is commentary on that, a secret commentary, the meaning of what God meant by talking like that. That's the Zohar. Tikkunei Zohar, basically, that little section, is a section that was discovered in the cave. Rabbi Shimon, the author of the Zohar, and his son Rabbi Lazar, together with the spirit of Moses, the spirit of Elisha the prophet, the spirit of Achiyah Shiloni the prophet, 5 of them, while Rabbi Shimon is meditating, with his body is still his neck into the dirt every day, channeling the secret and the meaning of life. What is going on in life? So that's Tikkunei Zohar. So this is only pure Rabbi Shimon and his son Rabbi Lazar. So the Tikkunim is things that come from above, all the secret of our physical universe as we know it, and how to connect to the spiritual universe as we need to do. So it's a very powerful book. One of them, the Zohar and Tikkunei Zohar. So very powerful book. Whatever you hold it, you kiss it, you read it, you scan it. If you can read Hebrew, good. If you can't, look at the letters, hold it to your heart. Whatever you can do with that can do amazing miracle. Because the power of the Zohar, in Kabbalah it's called Gimel Rishonot, meaning it's coming from the upper 3 dimension. As I mentioned before, there is 10 dimension. The Tikkunei Zohar come from the upper 3 dimension, which means you don't need preparation. We just need to connect to it. So whatever the physical connection, whatever you look at it, you made your connection.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, there's a question. There's a lot of chaos in the world right now, a lot of natural catastrophes. And someone was wondering what the Zohar or Kabbalah say about the time of Messiah. What's going on?
Time of Messiah. There's, the idea of Messiah, when we talk about Messiah, we are now in a time that called Chevlei Mashiach. Chevlei Mashiach, or the pregnancy of the Messiah. During the time of pregnancy, a woman going through some difficulty before she gives birth. We are now in that difficult time before giving birth. Now, what is a Messiah? Is it Jesus? Is it Muhammad? Is it Moses? What is it? And I'm not going to answer that. But I'm going to answer that we have to do something that we normally don't do before, we didn't do before. And we have to initiate something to get us out of the exile. What is exile? When we are far away from the divine, when we are far away from the light, when we are not connected to our truth of who we really are, our identity. When we lose our identity, we no longer connect to it. That's exile. Messiah will be a collective consciousness where everybody together will know. The prophecies say in Isaiah, and everybody will know everything. It will not need to be a teacher or somebody who guide you or a mentor, because everybody will know the divine. The truth will be known. It's almost like you're going into a place and you connect to the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is basically not something physical that you connect to. I mean, it is a physical somewhere in the connect to the electricity, but basically you can connect to the internet, to everything once you connect to the Wi-Fi. When the Messiah will arrive, or the Messiah is already here, depends what level you are, we're all going to be connected in a level, and we're all going to know. The word that Isaiah used, lada'at, to know. Everyone will know the truth. Everyone know right from wrong. Right now, we are confused. We don't know right from wrong. What happened? In the time of the tree of knowledge, the truth mixed
Tree of
with
knowledge means going back to the Garden of Eden. We're going
Yeah.
all the way back.
Yeah, in time of Genesis, the truth and the lie mix with each other. Whenever you hear a lie, there's a little bit of truth. Whenever you hear truth, there's a little bit of lie. Nothing is pure anymore like it used to be. It's mixed. So if you have a good time, there's a bad time with it. If you have a bad time, there's a good time with it. Nothing is as it used to be. What are we doing here then? Why there is pain and suffering and problem? We are basically, I think the verb is sifting. We are sifting good from bad. That's what we're doing all day long. We are taking the good and the bad, and we separate the good and bad. That's what we're doing all day long. Through spirituality, through communication, through talking, through teaching, through being together, through writing books, through reading books, through growing, we are removing the bad from the good, but we're also removing the good from the bad. And the idea of Messiah, when Messiah will come, or the Messiah already here, depends what level we are. Because if time is an illusion, it's here already. So we are now forced to separate the good from the bad. We not have any longer a choice. We have to do it. And that's why people are pushing and struggling to pain of money or health or love or disaster or war or rebellious personality, because people feel something in the air. They cannot explain what it is. They feel something is coming. They feel something is happening. But it's very difficult because you have to do something about it. So if you sit still and you're waiting for something to happen, then you're not giving birth to the Messiah. So you have to do something. After all, a woman has to get pregnant before she gives birth. So if you don't do something, and by the way, the words in the Bible for intercourse is to know. It's called yedi'ah. It's saying Adam knew Eve, and then they have children. So it's all yedi'ah. So first you have yedi'ah. You have to have knowing, connecting, and then you're giving birth. So the whole idea of the Messiah, the whole idea of coming to the Messiah, which is written a lot in this book, Tikkunei HaZohar, it says that most of it connect on us study the wisdom of Kabbalah. Most of it connect to us study Tikkunei HaZohar. Most of it connect to the idea of spreading this wisdom of spirituality in Kabbalah. And we have to be strong, we have to be powerful, and we have to be united. And if somebody is not united with you, don't get upset, because that's create more separation. Do the best you can, but do more than the best you can to understand that you have to do something. If you're sitting still, and I'm sorry I'm going long on that, if you're sitting still and waiting for some good news to happen, I'm telling you, nothing gonna happen. But if you do some change in the universe and develop that faith, that certainty about that we as a community, as a global community, need to do something, it's gonna happen. Not by chance. We are in a time of Facebook, Instagram, media is everywhere. That's mean we need to do something.
Let me just interrupt you for a minute. You keep on saying we need to do something. What is it that we need to do? Give us an example of what needs to be done.
It needs to be done. All right. I call it teaching. I call it educating. One of my goals, one of my dreams is, because of my many years of experience with teachers and with students, I used to coach many teachers, many students, wrote a lot of content on spirituality, on motivation, on Kabbalah. And I believe that we need to help educators to educate people in such a way that those people will do better. Because the universe right now is bleeding. The universe right now is crying for help. And what we do, everybody take his portion and hide. And what we need to do is to understand that we can learn from each other so much. So once we create, what to do is to create a global community where we can exchange idea, tell what's work, what doesn't work, balance the economy, the money, balance the health society that will not be depends on fear, and that can only come by educating the people on the top and people on the bottom. Because if you only educate the people on the bottom, they don't have power to change. If you educate only the people on the top, when I say top, I mean the money, the influencer, the famous, you need to do both. So when you educate them, specifically with the knowledge of Kabbalah has something in it, a magic in it, that it make the best of you come out. And when the best of you come out, you're giving birth as a group for the Messiah. So it will be amazing. I think it will be amazing.
There's another question that comes from what you just said. You were talking about good and bad. So how do we know the difference between good and bad?
$1 million question. Mm-hmm. How do you know the difference between good and bad? Well, it can be similar. When you are going on the wrong direction, the bad look like good. Right. When you are going the wrong direction. When you are going in the right direction, then of course, normally you would know what's bad, what's good.
Again, what's the wrong direction and what's the right direction?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, according to Kabbalah, according to spirituality, wrong direction is when there is me, and there is just busy with myself. Right direction, when we have we. When you're changing the M upside down to W, you got we. You got how we as a group can make a difference. Not how me as a person can make a change. Because you need to have the me, don't lose the identity. But how is this me help the we? How is that me support the we to become better? Because it's a very important thing. We are now living in a time that there is so many teachers and so many spiritual coaches and so many people who go to Malibu and climb on a mountain, do hiking and do meditation. There's so many people who do that. It's great. I love it. But the question, are we doing it to serve the me, or are we doing it to serve the we? So the difference is that you're in the right direction if your existence basically eventually do more for the we than for the me. That's how you know you're in the right direction. And I remember when I was working in a rehab place, when people have to overcome alcohol, drugs, sex, and all the other thing, one of the things that somebody become addictive, that whatever is addicted to, he start doing it alone. Mm-hmm. So even doing bad thing alone, make you separate from the group. So one of the things that we have to do something, what I'm trying to say, is two things we have to do, is to have the me has to add to the we, and we have to interact with people, make friends. I don't care how you make friends, you have to make new friends all the time. The place where you pray, place where you meditate, place where you play tennis, basketball, football, place where you meet a group on a bar. I don't care how you're doing it, you have to meet people. Our purpose is to meet people, not to get away from people. And I said that a lot of people have friends on Facebook, on Instagram. That cannot be instead of meeting them physically. And I saw that page on Instagram, very unique. It's created by a girl who started following me, very unique. And she asked if I can follow her back. I said, of course. And what she did, if you think traveling is unsafe, read my post. So, or something else she said, I don't remember the exact words, but the idea is Some people even don't travel anymore. And the reason they don't travel is why risk the me when it can be safe? And the me, if it doesn't meet the we, there's no Messiah, there's nothing going on. So I hope that's
Yes,
make it
for sure. I read somewhere that Rav Ashlag said that when you study Kabbalah, it helps you grow physically and spiritually.
Really? Physically too?
Yes. What does
Wow.
that mean?
Physically, spiritually, you know where it said? Or
I'm not sure.
Not sure. That Rav Ashlag said that we grow physically and spiritually. Wow, this is tough. I don't remember the physical. I will talk about the spiritual first. What is Kabbalah again? If I can now go a little bit deeper to it. So in the beginning of the knowledge of Kabbalah, it's written that what happened before creation, what exactly took place before creation. The reason we study that is because once you understand what happened before creation, you understand the purpose of this life. So they talk about before creation happened the endless. The endless means a concept of no end. Everything we're familiar with today has an end. Everything.
Right.
Everything has an end. So to get out of that consciousness into an endless, start helping your soul, your spirit to understand, wow, there's a concept of endless. Because everybody who's going to get into a relationship, they figure right away when it's going to end, when it's going to die. There is an end to everything. Everything has an end. So, but the force that creates this universe called endless. So the force which is endless creates something with the end. That's what the Kabbalist of Ashlag explained. Say that yesh me'ayin. It creates something from nothing. What does that even mean? And I always love to create a shirt like this, something from nothing. Something from nothing means that this something we live again, that end, E-N-D, the foundation of it is endless. How can that be? That from foundation of endless, you create something with end? There's no answer. That's why they call it something from nothing. Now, about physical body, why would the physical body would be better? I can answer it. I can answer it a little bit. But how can that be that the physical body feel better? The only way I can answer that, will it make you stress-free, make you in a better conscious, a better mind? So it make your body better. But I don't want to promise that because sometimes you come with a karma that maybe the body has to suffer. Which means if you abuse your body last lifetime, then this lifetime the body has to pay the price. Or if you abuse other people's body last lifetime, then this lifetime, so.
Let's go back for a second to the doing, okay? And so we talked about spreading spirituality, spreading Kabbalah. One of the hardest things for people, and they ask me all the time, is how to explain what we are doing here at Vital and how to explain why spirituality is so important without them sounding out there and crazy. They want, a sentence or two of what they can say to their friends to have their desire to come or have the desire to hear a class.
One verse or two basically is transform your temptation into a desire.
Wow.
If you can transform your temptation into a desire, because temptation can mislead us sometimes, it seems like desire. But you're tempting to do something, or you desire to do something. If you're tempting to do something, I think it's coming from what we call the body, the nefesh, the lower part of our soul. But if you think about the body is built from 4 elements. It's built from human, animal, vegetables, and mineral. So we have all of it inside of us. So when people come here to study with me, or to be coached by me, or to be around me, it's more what I represent than what I teach. Because some days I can teach well, sometimes the teaching is not the best. But to be around me, what I represent, that my purpose is that all of us can truly have a desire for what the universe want to give us. Because think about it. We meant to have it all. After all, the endless created end. So, what's going on here? Exactly. So, if you're going into your temptation, you connect to the end of you. If you're going into your desire, you connect to the endless of you. So you have these two energy within you all your life. And unfortunately, what spiritual group serve the need of the individual, or motivational speaker, or religious speaker, they want to fulfill the greed and the temptation of the individual. And that's why the individual is very happy. But not so how Kabbalah meant to be taught, not so how vital what we're doing here meant to be teaching people.
Let me just interrupt you for 1 minute, because that leads into my next question. Why is it so important to study Kabbalah with a teacher, if it's you, if it's me, and why can't they just study, let's say, online?
It's great to study online. It's great to study Kabbalah for an intellectual reason, but to create the transformation I was talking about from end to an endless, you need a teacher. Now, not every teacher can do it, because it's not enough to study it or to teach it. The teacher has to apply it, and that's a difficult part. I mean, I can tell you that I want to be saying I'm perfect, but I'm not. You know, I have my moment that I'm falling, I have the moment that I'm making it. But I believe the moment that I'm falling, it's also important, because then I can climb. And also I can teach other people, if they go through that, I said, oh my God, I went through the same thing, I want to tell you about it, what to do. So I believe that teacher is a very, very important thing. So when people meet with me, you know, I would like to hope that I'm giving them everything in my power, from the endless, not from the end. And the proof is if it's working for them, and that's the bottom line. If it's working for them and it's good, then the frequency, the synchronicity between us, it's great. Because it's all the idea of climbing from the end, because what I want to finish before is other places serve the need of the person, and people want to come back because of that. But then it's become what they call in 12-step program, codependency, addictive. So you give me what I'm addicted to, I'm giving you what you want for that. But what am I telling people here when they start? I would like you first to let go of that temptation, or that what you call desire. And that's hard for people, very difficult for people, because everything that you're used to is your temptation. So, but the self-controlling of your soul, the elevation of your spirituality, the power of it is first to be aware of how am I capable to say goodbye to the end, to say goodnight to the end, and to say welcome to the endless. Now, when you say welcome to the endless, it means that you want to desire more, because the Creator, the Divine, want to give you more. You know, I'm in the middle of writing a book now and that, and hopefully it will come soon. And I'm very excited about this book, because it took me a long time to put it together. And within this book, there is a lot of secret of how to do it. And I'm really, really excited about it. But I hope it answers your last question.
Yes, definitely answers my question. Definitely. So the next question that someone had sent us was, many spiritual leaders talk about changing the world. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
We have to be careful with that, because when you are saying, I want to change the world, I want to change the world too. But is it a gimmick? Is it a gimmick to get audience to follow you? Or it is a desire that you want to accomplish? And I believe that this is something you have to ask yourself. So the leader who say, I want to change the world, is it because they want more followers? or is it because they want to change the world? I don't know the answer for that. But I would like to hope that once those words come out of a leader, even if it's the wrong leader, may his words will be manifest. And that's why I tend to believe, when people say, I want to change the world, I don't care if you're a spiritual leader or bad leader, that's it, you want to change the world, this is beautiful. One of my goals in my organization, in our organization, in this global organization, is to give leaders and teachers and educators a chance to make the universe a better place to be. I believe that it's not enough just for a leader to change the world. I believe a leader needs to teach the group how to make it happen. So if you didn't ask it, but I like to share it, my vision.
Yes, that was my next question.
My vision of transformation is, global transformation is, with my experience, I'm capable to teach teachers how to teach in different locations, and then build teacher group that will start teaching the teachers how to educate our universe. And I believe that when we have the ability to do so, we can change this world in 1 year. And we can get 7 billion people together for a better place. But we need teachers, we need educators, we need motivational speaker. We're not just thinking about the me. How me going to be famous. So what? You're going to be famous. Now what are you going to do? Go back and eat your pistachio, write another lecture, shake another hand. But it's not going to help. Don't you want to go back to the universe where it's peace and wonderful and love? There is a way to do so. Think about it. I just want you to imagine it. Every school in the world, every school has a class, once a day about awareness, about spirituality. We don't even need to call it Kabbalah. And people start talking about, like, how do I change? How do I connect to the endless? How do I remove the end? How do I remove temptation? Every day, the children from age 5 getting that education all the way to college, and the college will be a special department just for that. Then we train teachers to do that. Then we train religious leaders to do so. And we don't tell them to change a thing. Don't you think after people will realize that we all talk in the same language? And it's the same thing. I'm almost, by talking to you, I'm almost feel like I'm creating a new religion. It's weird.
Well, that's one of the things that people were asking is, what have you been up to this past year? What is Vital Transformation? Which I know you said about now that it's teaching teachers and getting out there, but what's the mission? And people have heard about some of the books that you wrote. They've their things, but they don't really know what's going on. So they want to know, where has Eliyahu Jian been the past year?
Well, I've been in LA. I've been in LA, and what I'm doing, I'm writing a lot, teaching a lot, doing some video for our audience all over the world, coaching people to get a better life, and I enjoy that a lot because I see a great result. Everyone that I coach and teach come to me with a great result, so that's like, wow, I'm so happy about it. Basically, I think it's not a lot, but it's
a lot. So there's something that you developed here that I think helps them go through their path. It's the Finding God workbook.
You want to ask a question?
Yes. Can you explain to us what do we need to do?
Open it up, wherever you open it.
So I open it up and it says,
can you read?
Go do something out of the ordinary this week. Eat different foods. Do something special for yourself. Break out of your box. Make a 48-day commitment to overcome addiction, to behave better towards people, and to forgive teachers, friends, and mentors. If you can afford to travel, we spoke about travel, use this week to plan a trip to a holy place, a place where you can be more tuned into your spirituality. Confront your fears and ask the gates of heaven for your fears to be removed. A mantra for this week, Elijah the prophet, please help me and guide me. Say it 52 times. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So basically, I go week by week and I do my spiritual homework.
Yeah, you can do it. I mean, some people online ask me if they can do it every day. I said, yes, if you have time to do it every day.
And it's very intense.
I said it's intense. But some people, they want to do it this way. They're capable. I think it's good 3 days, every 3 days to do it. I believe it's good for 3 days. But a week is the maximum you can do it, because that's why.
A week. I don't think that a week in between each one.
Yes.
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 Okay.
So it's a task. So, for example, then you write down. You see how it's
Yes,
the
it
book.
has the lines,
See, that's
so you can fill in your.
yeah. And then you write what happened to you this week. So I put this book together, and you can see that there is colors here, and that's almost like the chakra, and there is like a target, So
To find God.
to find the God workbook. Why did I call it Find the God workbook? I mean, what's the idea? Because I don't want it to relate to religion. You go to a place to find God. I want you to find God internally, because I believe God is inside. All what you gotta do is just to do the work, and you're gonna find the God inside. That's why this book is for.
Amazing. And the last thing I wanted to ask you, and we will have more question and answer sessions. The snail with no shell. So I know your vision is to get this to every child in the world.
Yeah.
Explain to us a little tiny bit. What is the book and why you...
Funny. This book was written for children. I do from time to time meditation. I love to meditate. And it was Saturday night. I meditate, and it was very strong. Everybody fall asleep. And they told me to stay awake, and something will be revealed to you. So I stay awake, and at 4:30 a.m., I have the entire book in my mind. And then at 8:30, I start writing it. And at the end of the day, it was ready. So it was so fast. The book is about helping children to deal with something which is not perfect. Society is pushing children today to be perfect, and to be with perfect friends, and to be with perfect things, which makes society not perfect. So to accept the part which is not perfect makes you actually perfect. And that's what this book was designed for. And it's missing. It's missing in the universe. And the story is about a snail who lost his shell, and how he relates into community when he does that. And I wrote in the end of the book, that may all of us focus on the snail within. Meaning that the book is really for, not just for children, it's for the parents as well. Because a lot of parents push their kids to become perfect, and they push their kids to find perfect kids and perfect friend. And there is something unique about the non-perfect things, because we're all meeting it. I'm not perfect, none of us is perfect. And we meet people, we start to realize the good for me. Again, the me part. And the me part connect to the end. And the end connect to tempting. And it's never allow us to desire really what the universe want to give us. So it's a very powerful book. It's actually one of my favorite thing I did this year. And try to get it to every school, try to get it to everyone who can read it.
Nice. And I just want to end with one of my favorite quotes from the Inner Reflections and Affirmations that you wrote. Love is the answer no matter what the question is. And
Yes.
I think that kind of wraps up everything that we've spoken about, the actual reason why we have vital transformation. Through love, we can change everything.
So what, you want me to say something? No.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.